welcome back to the third session of second week, and in this session we will talk about strategic human resource development. What I mean by strategic human resource development is that we need to develop an action plan, a strategy, and then see that how we can develop people. In the process, probably we try to link the strategy of the organization with the development action and plan of the people. So, what we are going to discuss in this session is that how do we go about linking human resource development plan with the corporate strategy of the organization. So, in order to start that, first of all we will try to define what is strategic human resource development. So, when we are trying to define strategic human resource development, as you remember we have already talked about human resource development. So, we are adding this term strategy before this human resource development in order to see that how we can go and develop an action plan. That is what a strategy means, to develop people and their competencies. So, since we adopt a very systematic process for developing human resources, so if we are going to define a strategic HRD, it is a systematic process that how we can develop human resources. And when we say that strategic human resources means those human resources which are of critical importance, which are very talented, that is where you need to develop them, their competencies, their knowledge and skills, so that they are able to contribute to the growth and development. Now, what does it mean that strategic human resources and their development? So, it includes basically looking into their talent, training and development activities, how we go about developing organizations, looking at their performance and leadership. So, all kind of activities are basically a part of human resource development, and then we need to develop an action plan for developing their talent, competencies, and then linking it with performance and leadership improvement of the organization. Now, what happens if you are going to link strategy with human resource development? So, if you are going to link it with that, it will help you to achieve the goals and objectives of the organization, not only financial performance, but also you will be able to compete on a sustainable basis, and it is going to provide you some kind of advantage over your competitors and rivals to stay ahead in the competition. So, that is what sustainable competitive advantage means. Sustainable means on a sustainable basis in the long run. So, you are going to compete, because you are going to compete with the help of the people only. You are going to compete with the help of the knowledge and skill base of the people, because that is the most important critical resource for the organization. So, when we are talking about strategic human resources, it is basically developing the competencies, knowledge and skill base of the people, which are very critical for growth and development of the organization. Okay. Now, after defining the strategic human resource development, let us see what are its features. When we say that, why we call it strategic human resource development. Now, moving further, let us look into some of the features of strategic human resource development. When we say strategic human resource development, you are basically concerned with long term development of human resources in the organization. So, you need to develop an action plan, so that on a sustainable basis you can think about development of human resources. So, why we go about developing human resources in the long term? So, that you can remain competitive in the market, because if your people have the talent, knowledge and skill base in the organization, probably you will be able to compete with others, your rivals and organizations, and that is why you need to go for what you call competitive human resource, strategic human resource development. Okay. And that is where we are going to emphasize on long term development of human resources in the organization. Now, moving further, if you look at some other features, it means that it also helps you to shape your business strategy. What does it mean? Business strategy or corporate strategy is decided by whom? It is decided by the people. So, if people have the competence and knowledge, probably they would help you to define what kind of a strategy would be required, but for that they need that critical knowledge which help you to define what could be the corporate strategy. So, it is the people who define strategy for the organization, and if people have competence, then these people with the knowledge and skill which they have would be able to define the corporate strategy, right. Another issue is that when it comes to implementing strategies, okay, strategies for growth, strategies for say development, strategies related to diversification or any kind of corporate strategy. Who is going to implement these strategies? It is the people who are going to implement the corporate strategy or business strategy in the organization. So, when I am talking about implementing strategy in the organization, it is possible only when people are competent enough. They know that how to implement a strategy, and for that they need to learn, so that they are able to improve performance. Now, the thing is, any kind of HRD activity is aimed at improving the performance and behavior of the people. So, we have to see that how they are going to perform or behave when it comes to strategy implementation, because it entirely depends upon that kind of competence or the knowledge people have. So, it is going to define their performance so far as strategy implementation is concerned. Another important issue is that you are going to not adopt just one strategy, but a number of strategy, so that the performance of the individual and the organization changes or improves. Now, the question is that when we are going to talk about individual performance, so you need to adopt certain strategies to see that how their performance is going to improve. So, you need to develop an action plan, that is what we call a strategy for their growth and development, to help them to learn, and that is where it is going to facilitate performance, right. So, you are going to develop strategy at the two level, strategy at the individual level, in the sense that you are going to decide what kind of learning and development plan you are going to have, okay, for the growth and development of the people. Similarly, you are also going to see that what kind of learning and development plan you are going to have for the organization. So, what is your strategy for organization growth and development, and what is your strategy for your individual growth and development, and ultimately you link with organizational growth and development with the individual, because if individual growth and development is happening because of the learning that is facilitated, then it is going to result in organizational growth and development. So, with these defining features, let us see that this what else is required. It means that you have to see that how you are going to align the goals and strategies of the organization with the goals and objectives of the organization. That is where you need to create a strategy for the growth and development of the people. So, when I am talking about the growth and development of the people, what does it mean? It means you have to see that you have decided about the corporate strategy for the growth and development of the people, and how this corporate strategy that is there for the corporate HR strategy for the growth and development of the people is linked with or aligned with the growth and development of the organization. Now, let me give an example that how we go for alignment of individual goals with the organizational growth and development. Now, individual growth may be in terms of better career prospects, promotion, learning and development, and then you need to plan a strategy for this, but this strategy must be linked with the growth and development of the organization. Say organization is going for diversification. So, if organization is going for diversification in a different area, suppose organization is into one kind of business and then it is moving to another kind of business, right. So, in this case of diversification in an unrelated field, now you have to see whether the people who are going to implement a strategy for diversification have the critical competence to do it or not. So, what you need to develop is those skills which are required to successfully implement this kind of corporate strategy in the organization. Okay. So, the role of HRD professional here is to equip people with those kind of competencies related to strategy implementation, so that they are in a better position to implement the strategy. So, in the process what will happen, you are going to devise learning and development strategy for the individual, so that they equip themselves with the knowledge and skill base, and this knowledge and skill base is going to help the organization to achieve its goal of diversification, okay, which would result in better and effective performance of the organization. So, that is what I mean by strategic human resource development. So, what we will do first? First, we will decide about what is corporate strategy, what is the HR strategy, and how HR strategy is going to be aligned with the corporate strategy for better organizational performance, and this has to be done on a regular basis, so that organization remains competitive in the longer run. Okay. So, this is what I mean by strategic HRD. Now, there are certain models which are available when we go about strategic human resource development. So, the two I will discuss two major models here. One is related to Garman, which where it talks about the context and the framework, and if you look the context and framework, it is very dynamic, because at the first level it talks about the context, that is the environment in which you are going to operate, and then it talks about the framework. Okay. So, if you look at this model, you can see that at the first level the kind of analysis that you are going to do is that you are going to scan the environment. Okay. Scan the external environment, that is what kind of changes are happening in the economic political spheres, the industry in which you are operating, technology, labor markets, cultures, what kind of HRD systems have been adopted, okay. What are the cross cultural and rules and regulations. So, at the first level what you are going to do is that you are going to scan the environment in order to see that the extent to which this environment is going to be favorable to you or not, the extent to which this environment is dynamic or not. Okay. The idea of scanning the environment is to identify the level of uncertainty associated with the environment, right, and there are two major factors that you can identify. The extent to which this external environment is static and dynamic. Okay. So, that is one factor, and the second factor is the extent to which various players, the various factors are going to influence your organization. So, in the process probably when we are talking about environmental scanning, or when we are going to do first level of analysis and we are going to analyze the environment, there are two kind of factors that we can identify. Okay. You have to see whether the environment is static or the environment are dynamic, right. So, if the environment is static, it means that the various forces of the environment are not changing very fast. It means they are more or less static, there is not much change in the environment. But if you talk about a dynamic environment, where you will find that most of the organizations are working today, you will find that the organization has, the environment of the organization has been very dynamic. It means that economic, social, cultural, technical, political, okay, factors are changing very fast. So, if these factors are changing very fast, it means that the environment becomes very dynamic. Now, another factor related to this is that the number of factors which are operating and are going to influence your organization. So, now we have to see whether you are going to work in a simple environment or what you call a complex environment, right. So, if you are going to work in a simple environment, it means that there are very few factors which are going to operate, and if more factors are operating, suppose only one or two environmental forces are operating, which is manageable enough, and you are working in a static environment, then it is good for you, right. So, your environmental analysis suggests that you do not need to do much, but if you are working in a complex environment where number of these factors are operating, economic, social, cultural, technical, political or other factors are operating, it means that you are going to work in a very complex environment. So, the level of uncertainty is going to be highest in which case? In this case, this is where you will have highest level of environmental uncertainty. So, your environmental analysis says, and in this case what will happen? You will have moderate level of moderate. So, moderate level of uncertainty means that the action plan, your strategy is going to be different. In this case, you are going to be having high level of environmental uncertainty. In this case, it is very low environmental uncertainty. So, the basic objective of analyzing the environment is to identify what is the level of uncertainty associated with the environment, and that is done after analyzing the environment, and this includes local, environmental and multinational conditions. Okay. Once this level of analysis is done, then we move to the next level. That next level is basically that you are going to see that based on this environmental analysis, what is your strategy, because your strategy is directly linked with the environment. So, the environment provides a context for the organization to operate in. So, at the second level you are going to decide about the strategy. So, what would be your strategy? So, your strategy is basically influenced by the environment. Depending upon the kind of environment that you have, you are going to see that what would be your corporate strategy, that is your action plan. You can go for different kind of strategy, you can go for divestments, you can go mergers, acquisitions, you can go for strategic alliances. So, there could be a number of corporate strategies that could be adopted, okay. Or you can in other terms you can go for a competitive pricing strategy. So, there could be a number of strategies that could be adopted, okay, by the organization, and based on this strategy you are going to decide about the kind of structure, okay, that you are going to have. What I mean to say about structure is that the roles and responsibilities of the people. And this roles and responsibilities is going to define, okay, in the structure of the organization, in a hierarchy. Okay. And based on this you are also going to define what kind of culture and leadership you are going to have, that is required to be effective and perform well. So, at the second level of analysis you are basically looking into these factors. So, environment is going to decide the strategy, your strategy is going to decide what kind of a structure you are going to have, and based on this you are going to have kind of what you call your culture and leadership, and this has to be compatible with each other. Now, based on this analysis you have identified your strategy, your structure. Based on the environmental analysis you decide what would be the focus of your human resource development activities, what kind of strategic HRD you are going to have, right, and how this strategic HRD is integrated with HRM activities. Okay. What is your development action plan for the people, and how it is aligned with other HR activities like recruitment, performance management, reward system, and these kind of things. So, you need to go for integration of these functional activities with the process activities. Okay. So, you have to see that how you can enable to ensure that people are innovative and creative enough through these policies. Okay. How people become a strategic partner, so they help you to decide about the strategy. Okay. And you also need to see that various stakeholders in the process are satisfied. Organization is able to grow and develop, employees are also able to grow and develop, right. So, that is the second level strategy. Moving to the third level, okay, where you are going to decide about the kind of systems and practices that you want to adopt for human resource development, okay, in terms of their competency mapping, in terms of their skill training, or in terms of their leadership development. All kind of activities is basically a part of a strategic HRD, which needs to be linked with organizational performance. Okay. Okay. And the dimensions of organizational performance that you will continuously try to improve and innovate yourself. Okay. You make sure that the knowledge management activities takes place. Okay. Your leaders are transformational in nature and these kind of things. And organizational performance, an associated factor is what you call organizational change. Okay. So, if organization is performing well, so you are going to continuously change and improve yourself, so that you are able to you are going to be more effective. That is related to outside. Now, when it comes to internal customer, you also need to see that yes, what kind of quality programs you are going to offer, okay, how this program is strategic HRD is aligned with human resource management, and in terms of organizational performance, when you are going to measure it, it could be related to quality, efficiency, and all kind of things. Okay. So, this is the model which basically talks about first you scan the environment, identify the structure, strategy, structure and culture, look at your HRD aligned with your HRM, see how it is going to impacting performance. So, this is the model of strategic human resource development. Moving to another model, that is more or less same, Peterson model of a strategic HRD. It also talks about more or less the same thing. First of all, you have to look at the context of the organization, that is the environment. Okay. Look at the organizational dimensions, how it is going to be aligned with HRD capacity. Okay. And then in the middle of that, you can see that yes, you need to go for some kind of forging strategic relationship, right, that how top management is going to create alliances with HR activities. In the process, they try to build trust and good relationship, and then it leads to developing a kind of system for the HRD. Okay. And then you are going to benchmark those practices, standard practices, and then finally, this leads to what you call a high performance work system and culture, resulting in better HRD performance. Okay. And here in the process, you are going to act as a strategic HRD, as a strategic partner, and that is where you have a very important role. Okay. And you are going to identify your strength, weaknesses, opportunities and threats, because that is a part of your analysis where you are going to look into your social, organizational, political and other contexts. So, that is related to the environment. So, within this broader framework, you are going to talk about the strategy, how this strategy, structure and culture is related or aligned with corporate strategy or HRD strategy, and then how this HR strategy is impacting the system and what kind of system you are going to have for that, and then how it is related with a high performance work system to deliver better HRD performance, right. So, after discussing these two models, we are moving further to discuss some other issues related to C. That is what I am trying to simplify it here, okay, that how we go about linking corporate strategy with HR strategy. So, at the first level of analysis, what we did, we try to examine the environment, okay, the level of environmental uncertainty that is associated with the organization. So, that is where you are going to look into various kind of trends related to the external environment, right. From there, you are going to derive your corporate strategy. Okay. After deriving your corporate strategy, and at the same time you also look at whether you have the strength to execute and implement these strategies or not. Okay. So, corporate strategy actually is based on two kind of analysis, internal analysis and external analysis. So, external environment analysis gives you an idea about environmental uncertainty and the kind of environment in which an organization is going to operate. Internal analysis tells about the strength and weaknesses of the organization, whether you have competent people, what kind of systems, structure, culture, processes you have, because both of them are going to say the kind of strategy that you are going to devise, right. Similarly, your strategy leads to what you want to do, okay, whether you want to go for diversify, whether you want to go for cost cutting, or whether you are going to be more innovative in products and processes. Okay. So, depending upon your corporate strategy, you are going to decide about what would be your HR strategy related to both management and development, and ultimately it is going to be related with your organizational performance. So, that is how we are going to link corporate strategy with HR strategy. Okay. See, so the idea is that you can translate strategy into HR policies and practices, okay, and that is what I have been discussing up now, is that how we go about aligning HR strategy and actions with corporate strategy. So, once you have decided about your HR strategy, okay, that is okay, this is the strategic goals of the organization. Say for example, I am taking one example of a case that corporate strategy is mergers or acquisition. So, if this is the corporate strategy, okay, then this is the goals and objectives at the first level, that is where you are going to formulate the business strategy. Next level, you are going to see workforce requirement, that is, if you are going for acquisition, whether your workforce is competent enough to handle this kind of acquisition or not. Okay. Whether your workforce is competent enough to deliver the kind of result that you are expecting from a merger and acquisition. Okay. So, you have to see whether your HR is going to deliver effective results so far as mergers and acquisition is concerned. Okay. So, as a part of a strategic HRD, strategic HR, what you need to look into is that you need to develop these competencies so that you are able to contribute effectively to mergers and acquisitions. Okay. So, in order to have workforce competencies, you need to develop your HR strategy, and this HR strategy basically helps you to produce competent employees, okay, so that they can contribute effectively to the mergers and acquisitions. Okay. And then you also measure the extent to which they have been able to do it in terms of better performance or success, or you can also use HR scorecard. I will talk about that at a later stage to see the effectiveness of the measures that is taken by the HR or the kind of strategy and the extent to which these strategies have been successful. So, look at this, how we are going to implement a strategic human resource development in the organization. It depends upon how diversified your portfolio is. Okay. It means that what is the competence base of the people, okay. And for that, whether HRD professionals are able to provide the kind of learning interventions that is required from the organizational side. Say for example, when you say that the organization is going for mergers and acquisitions, so at what stage people are going to participate in the process and whether they have the competencies to participate at different stages of mergers and acquisitions or not. Okay. So, you need to provide customized and personal learning experiences to ensure that people have those competencies, okay, to see that these kind of activities or this kind of say strategy of the organization is successful. Okay. You can make use of technology, you can identify that what are the different kind of activities that can be planned, learning solutions, okay, so that people are having those competencies. Okay. And at the same time, you need to ensure that you are going to deliver these competencies or make sure that people have these competencies as and when it is required. Okay. So, if you are going to be proactive, that is what a strategic HRD means, that you need to develop your action plan, understanding the business plan or the knowledge of the business and the strategy of the organization, and accordingly you decide what kind of learning needs would be there, and then develop design programs to deliver these kind of requirements to the people, so that they are able to develop it and perform well, right. Similarly, you can also say that you need to communicate people, okay, this is our strategy to handle various issues, okay, with the organization development. Okay. So, you need to identify what are the opportunities that is people available, what kind of technology is going to be there, how it is going to help organizations to execute and implement the strategies. Okay. So, you have to see that, okay, how knowledge and skill is going to help the organization to effectively contribute to the success of the organization, and for that you need to look at various knowledge management activities, right, translating tacit knowledge into explicit knowledge, making sure that this kind of knowledge is available to people. Okay. So, you need to share this kind of knowledge, need to ensure that people learn these things as and when it is required, okay, and they are going to make use of it. Okay. And the most important thing is that you need to facilitate to ensure that knowledge leads to action, okay, and people are able to transfer their knowledge at the workplace to perform well, and that is where it has better applications, right. In the process, what is more important is that you require top management commitment and support. Okay. If you are going for a strategic HRD and you are really want to prove your worth for the organization, you need to ensure that yes, they initiate the policies, they would initiate this kind of policy only when they are sure that yes, HRD is going to contribute to the growth and development of the organization. And similarly, you also need to see that yes, they are convinced about that these HRD activities are going to have better return in terms of better performance of the people, okay, and whatever strategy they are going to have, it is going to help in executing and implementing those strategies for better organizational performance, and if once they are convinced, then there is no problem, and then you can easily get commitment from the top management about your HRD activities, okay, and then they would be able to support these kind of activities even if the organization is not doing too well, because now top management understands that yes, these kind of activities will take them upward and probably they would help us to come out of this kind of economic recession, because it ultimately it is the competence and knowledge of the people which is going to help the organization to grow and develop. Now, if you look at different kind of strategic HRD activities, so that could be classified into three categories, that is transactional, traditional and transformational. Transactional, okay, where you have these all kind of say records and these kind of things, okay, how it is designed, how, and when it comes to traditional, then basically you have all kind of training programs and how you are going to design develop training programs, management development programs or competency trainings. Okay. These are the traditional things. Now, the more advanced transformational strategic HRD activities include that you try to be a business partner, you are going to involve in knowledge management activities, so that you are able to transfer tacit into explicit knowledge and then it is available to the people, okay, and you also look into counseling, management development program, and you are actually participating in the cultural change program. Okay. So, if you look at from transactional to traditional and transformational, there has been a lot of advances in strategic HRD activities, and I am giving you finally two examples to explain. Now, this is Dell computers, this is an example of how they have gone for strategic activities, and what they have done basically in order to ensure that HRD activities happens, they have created an office of Dell learning, and this office of Dell learning is responsible to see that how learning is aligned with key business goals and objectives, okay. Make sure that it is available to everyone whosoever requires it, it means it is readily available, and they also see that what the kind of competency is that would be required by the people, not today, but on a long term basis, and that is how Dell is going to compete with their counterparts. Okay. And they also need to ensure that okay, their curricula is benchmarked, okay, and they have the best curriculum which can be compared with anybody else in the organization at that particular level. Okay. Now, this is another company, Reliance India, it is an Indian company, and if you look at their HRD activities, you will find that yes, it has a global character, it is a very big company, it is multifunctional, multidisciplinary in nature, and also they try to achieve full potential of their people. So, they try to see that the potential is realized by the people and they are able to make use of that in order to perform well. Okay. And most of the HRD activities are aimed at personal and professional excellence, and they also try to see that okay, in the realm of that you are going to balance your personal life with your personal life, and they have also associated with performance, so that people are motivated enough to perform well. So, they have performance linked incentives for all employees, and they have recently started this manufacturing leadership program for senior executives, okay, in association with Hayvet, and that really helped them to develop their leaders, and that is basically a kind of what you call a transformational strategic HRD activities. So, that is all. Thank you very much.